for another episode. We're here with.
I'm Jamie Waffles Footy, which is my YouTube channel, and my TikTok is at J Gunner. What are we talking about today, brother?
We're reflecting, I think, on the England performance of yesterday evening.
Yeah, well, we did. Me and Sparksy, we both did TikTok live over on my channel, and it turned into a comedy club more than anything. To be honest with you guys,
It
we
was a
were
little
just
bit comedy, wasn't it?
yeah, we were having a right little giggle, weren't we, over there?
Yeah, we had to make it a little bit more cheerier because it
Oh
wasn't very
man,
cheery watching, was it? The viewing
yeah.
wasn't.
Well, your days consisted of watching paint dry at your house and then watching paint dry watching the football, hasn't it?
Pretty much. Well, I mean, I stripping wallpaper. That's got probably yeah. My head was steaming and the wall was steaming. So yeah,
Right. So what you
there we go.
thinking? Shall we
Not
go?
even in a good way.
No, no. Shall we run through the squad and do some player ratings? What are you thinking?
Yeah, go for it.
Right. Let me get the squad up on my phone quickly for us from yesterday. I'll just go on live score and just look at the starting lineup from
I
yesterday.
mean, I'm not sure we need to look at the squad to be honest with you, but there you
Yeah, just all zeros.
go.
Right. So lineups. Aaron Ramsdale. What we saying about Rambo from yesterday?
I mean, I don't particularly think the. I think he potentially could have done better with the goal. However, it was right on the ground, came through a player's legs. Should it have got to that point in the first place? Probably not. So I don't think you can entirely blame Ramsdale, to be honest.
No.
He had a few shots to deal with in the meantime of that, and he did okay, I suppose.
Yeah.
Um, he had the rusty look about him, didn't he? Basically, because he hasn't played for a while, which is yeah, unfortunate.
It was kind of like it reminded me of when he came in against Brentford for
Yeah,
us.
but I quite liked as well that obviously he finally starts giving players a chance that
Yeah.
aren't necessarily going to play in the tournament, um, or at least try to get them to make some decisions for him, basically.
Yeah, I could
So
agree with that. Yeah.
yeah, so for me, that's kind of been one of his biggest flaws, meaning Southgate, that he doesn't give the younger players um, a bit of game time to get that zero off their back and actually play them in a
Yeah.
friendly sort of thing.
And I think you can kind of see from that performance last night, people, that these were the players that hadn't had the chance, and you could tell that it was kind of their first chance kind of thing, where it was kind of rustiness. It was kind of scared to make certain passes, scared to make that pass, like that pass, what that penetrating pass, because they think they can hit us on the counter attack. Then if they make the wrong kind of decision, I think you could kind of tell that. I think Ramsdale, a lot of people said he was at fault for goals at his near post, but I think once it goes for a defender's legs, it's hard to see what's coming anyway. So I think it's more that Stones was at fault rather than Ramsdale. Is that what you're thinking as well, bro?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm just putting a post out on Twitter just
No,
to.
that's fine. I'll move over and I'll start off with Kyle Walker. I didn't really notice him too well in the game, to be honest with you, brother. Um, he wasn't outstanding. He wasn't. I think at the back we looked very, very poor. I think Iceland they got through us quite well, and I think they looked, even though we had more of the ball, more of the possession, we had one attempted shot on target the whole game, and they had this. They had the same, I think, and then they scored with their attempt. But they looked a lot more dangerous than we did. So at the back, I think we looked really, really poor, and I think that takes into place with Kyle Walker as well. Have you got any thoughts on Kyle Walker?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't. He started off really, really poorly, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Didn't really want to run anywhere. After about 20 minutes or so, he kind of livened up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, do you actually see him starting in the Euros? Do you actually see him starting there?
It depends how Gareth Southgate goes. Personally, I would play. I'll be if it come down to it, and you had the choice of him and Trent playing at right back. Where if he doesn't play him at centre mid, Alexander Arnold, I would have Alexander Arnold all day long.
Yeah, I agree, and I'd put Trippier at left back where he is.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously there's an argument for Luke Shaw, but obviously he hasn't played for a while,
yeah,
and I kind of get this funny feeling that after 40 minutes of game time, he's going to pull up with some kind of injury and not be
yeah.
seen again.
What? So
Uh,
John Stones. Do we have any news about John Stones with his injury?
I haven't seen any news about the injury.
No.
I don't know. Was the injury hiding that he was just had a bad performance?
Well, you think about, do you remember the last England? Just before the end of the season when John Stones went off injured and Kyle Walker in the first 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to kind of read and look to see if they're saying anything about John Stones.
I don't think they'll really tell us anything, will they? Until
England will hope this is what match of the day, BBC match of the day put. He took a bit of a knock on the ankle really early in the game, but at half time there was no point taking any chances. We're too close to the start of the tournament. There's no point of risking this. This is what Gareth Southgate put.
yeah, I mean, I do think that they were quite physical.
Yeah, they were.
And the ref didn't really stamp it out very much. I don't think there was anything really, offensive from them. I just think that there were a lot of niggles, a lot of knocks.
Yeah.
Nothing really drastic.
It's kind of hard, Sparks, to rate all the players because if it was me, they'd all be a 5.
The thing is as well that you got to accept that it's a week before a major tournament.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to get an injury. There are players on there that have already suffered with injury, and and they just don't want to be getting another one. And
it was their cup final, like you said to me on my TikTok live. It's their
yeah,
cup final.
absolutely. That was their Euro final, wasn't it? At the end of the day, they win that. They go away with credibility, happiness. They gave gave England their credit.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
and they parked the bus.
This is the kind of thing. So earlier, I know I keep mentioning my TikTok, but on my TikTok earlier, I had a live and I put what I think the starting 11 would be, and I put Trent in centre midfield, and then everyone was coming at me saying why Trent, and I said, well, you think about it. Last night when we played against a low block, we struggled, but as soon as Trent came on the pitch with Bukayo and Ivan Toney, we looked a bit more promising. We looked a bit more like we could play through the lines. I think Trent is very much a player that he can play that pass that can break that defensive block. And I think
didn't you laugh at me when I said that about midfield yesterday?
Yeah, and I've changed my mind. That's what happens. Opinions change.
Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suggested we were literally on a live yesterday, and I suggested it, and the two guys, RG and Jamie, basically laughed at me. No, that won't happen. They won't do that, and this, that, and the other. No, they're calling for it. It's like,
yeah, Sparks are those best. It's literally so. From watching from that, I've said going into that Serbia game, because it's going to be a low block. We know it's going to be a low block against Serbia. Alexander Arnold shouldn't play at right back. He should play a bit further forward, like you've said, because he can break down that lines. And Saka has to 100% start. Can I go into something a little bit off topic regarding all the paper talk and all that? Can I go into that?
Yeah.
I think it needs to be discussed because I've discussed it over on my TikTok, which I've been hit with abuse. But if you look at all the papers, so I'm going to pull it up on my phone now and have a look. But what I seen was the BBC Sport. Let me get to my photos quickly for what I used for my cover. Yeah, so here we go. The Sun had plain awful with Bukayo Saka as the background doing this image. The BBC Sport had England lost to Iceland warm up with Bukayo Saka on the ground looking like he's crying. The same thing for CBS Sports, the same thing for the Telegraph, Saka on the floor. So that's 4 different publications putting in Bukayo Saka as the main front page.
The culprit, basically the culprit.
Yeah, the culprit. Yeah. So what me and Sparks yesterday on my TikTok live, we were sitting there laughing, going, watch everyone blame Saka. He'll come on for 20 minutes and watch the whole brigade all blame Saka, all this, all that, the other. And were we right, Sparks?
It's absolutely see-through, isn't it? It's absolutely disgusting. It happens time and time again. You know, Palmer has a bad game. Foden has a bad game.
Nothing.
Glory boy Kane put a shot in the second tier.
Oh, mate.
My God. I'm not being funny, right? My granny, God bless her soul, could have scored that.
And that Palmer, that one on what, when he took on 3 blokes and hit the side netting.
Yeah, but I don't blame Palmer.
Yeah.
He's getting overhyped, but that's not his fault.
No.
You know,
that's I'm not here to downplay these type of players, but it's just Saka's getting all the abuse.
Yeah, but by the same token, the answer is not to give crap to another player.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Basically, the answer is to call out the crap that they're doing, and hopefully they'll change it. But it's been happening for years.
So what I've seen I've looked this morning. I thoroughly looked through the papers. Yeah, like I've looked online, looked at the Telegraph, looked at Sun, looked at Daily Mirror, looked at them all. The only 2 people I've seen as front pages was Bukayo Saka and Kobe Mainoo. It's the only 2 people I've seen. I didn't see no one else.
It's a disgrace. It really is.
Agendas are real, mate. I mean, people, like when I've posted on my TikTok, people are commenting and saying, "Oh, you're trying to turn it into something that it ain't." Don't get me wrong. Some of it is because he plays for Arsenal Football Club, and it's we've overhyped him a little bit and then put him on everyone. But
absolutely.
But people need to open their eyes and realise there is something else involved in this. There is something else, and it's so blatantly obvious. Like, I don't know how people ain't seeing it. I had it on my TikTok live, people putting in emojis. I know I just spoke to you about it before, because I've got some things in my family. I mean, I was talking about Bukayo Saka. I had monkey emojis, I had banana emojis all through my chat. I had 200 people on my live, and I'd say 20% of them were putting them. And I had my moderators going absolutely like muting. All I could see on the conversation was mute. And I've asked my mods afterwards what it was. And they just said that there were so many banana emojis and so many monkey emojis. It was a joke.
I mean, it's just craziness. And what I also don't understand is I was on something else. What was I on with yesterday? I can't remember what it was now. Oh, that was it. So basically, a thing went out about hostile chanting, right?
Yeah.
So somebody, I can't remember what it was, but they were saying about the 10 German bombers thing.
Yeah.
And I posted, well, it's just not necessary. It's just not. It just doesn't need to happen.
No.
And I got all sorts of posts going back, going, yes, it does. And you're like, what? Do you seriously go to football for that?
No.
Is that why you go to the games of football? Because if it is, then I'm sorry. You need to take stock of why you're doing things.
You need to take some people need to take a serious look at themselves, Sparks, because this is happening all over the place, and it's not just down to race. It's down to certain agendas. The media have an agenda with Bukayo Saka, and it's just so blatantly obvious. Like, I don't know what it is. People say it's because he's the poster boy. He's this. He's that. He's the other. But then at the end of the day, some of you are saying he's not good enough to get in the squad. And when they're slating him, they say it's because he's a poster boy. But when it's the other way around, it's not that. Like, you can't win.
Absolutely, yeah.
But anyway, shall we move on?
So we've got a couple of messages here from the same person, but he's on I've been on my Twitter account as well.
Okay.
And Doolin 007 says, once again, blame Saka. Absolutely, yeah. There's just um, uh, there's no excuse for it. But
No,
I
there's not.
agree with this.
I
I
completely agree.
absolutely agree with this.
Yeah, and the
Um,
kind of thing what I've been getting at. So like when I went on my live earlier, I got a little bit defensive when I shouldn't have. But when I seen all these comments and that, what I did, I stopped. I had 200 people there live, and I said, everyone in this chat right now, show Saka, show Palmer, show these young lads some love. Put in my
yeah,
comments, we like Saka, Starboy, give him some love because I'm sick of seeing the hate. Whether whether it's Bukayo Saka and we're going there, we need to get behind these boys. Whether we've just lost 1-0 to Iceland, it don't make a incy bit of difference to me because these are putting on an
yeah.
England shirt and they're England boys at the end of the day. And that comment right there with Sparks is exactly right. It moved from Sterling to Saka.
This is exactly the same because Sterling used to get it all the time.
Yeah,
It was never good enough, even though he put all the work rate in.
yeah,
And I don't think he's ever been really good enough for Chelsea either. And
no,
I don't want to kind of point fingers as certain
yeah.
fans, but there's some kind of history there well, I hope it's not that, it's
Yeah,
yeah.
it's looking that
I
way,
hope
mate.
I hope people grow up a little bit and and, and smell the coffee a little bit.
Yeah, so I want to touch on the Sterling thing as well. So you know Sterling, yeah. So you know that
Yeah.
period, 2016, around that time. You know that Euros there where we were poor. Sterling was our best player.
Oh, he absolutely was, and he was getting all the stick because he did one thing wrong when
Yeah,
he'd done
exactly.
five things right, and
Yep.
and it was just insanity. And it's the same with Saka. Are
Yep.
we going to? Was it Kevin Kilban that basically come out
Yeah, Kevin
yesterday?
Kilbane, just literally a couple of
Giving
hours before the game.
yeah, that he's just going to limp,
Yeah,
and you're not gonna know. He was basically insinuating that it was a ruse to make other teams think that he wasn't going to make the next game
yeah,
when he is. And then there was a comment on so there was another fan basically put something about he has called it out, and he was an Arsenal fan as well. And he
yeah.
said, "Oh, he has called it out, and he's done this, that, and the other." And I said, "No, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't, mate.
What he's done, he's
Yeah,
basically accused him and the club essentially of faking an injury to second guess whether he's going to make the next game or not. That's all he's done.
yeah. That's all he has done.
He's
I
not
watched
done.
it. Yeah, he's a joker.
He's not done anything to call it out. He's not done anything to say,
No.
"Oh, he gets kicked all over the place," which he does.
Yeah. When are we gonna Sparks? When are we gonna get a pundit? I know Ian Wright does it, but when it's like me and you, I'm really, really on it with it now. So like over the past week, since the Euros have kind of started leading up, I've been on my TikTok, even on my lives. I've been defending Saka tooth and nail. I've been backing him. I've been saying, look, lads, and I don't Sparks. It's not just Bukayo Saka because he plays for Arsenal. I would defend any young England player. I would do it. I would defend him, but it's because Saka has got this agenda at the moment. What pundit is going to stand up for him and say when for instance, when Kevin Kilban did it, yeah,
Can I just say it's not just Saka. It would Menu. They basically
yeah,
had a go at
exactly,
Menu,
yeah,
and they also had a go at Gahey. Now Gahey did not have his best game. Let's be real about this.
no,
We're not condoning crap performances,
yeah.
but I'm sorry, Foden did nothing last night.
Yeah, no. We at the end of the day, Sparks, we can criticise performances because we've
Yeah,
got no agenda. We're watching the game and saying this performance, this performance. It's just when like Saka come on for 20 minutes and he's getting the blame. That's when it's an agenda.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
this is why I pointed out the Harry Kane, tier
yeah,
two, where Palmer put a decent cross into him,
it was
and
decent for us.
and he absolutely 100% should score.
Yeah, I think last night, Sparks. I think a lot of Man City fans have been calling out for him to play the same position as he did for Man City at that number 10 role, Phil Foden. And I think these little fancy flicks, the way he played yesterday was poor. And I think that was a job interview, an audition to whether he could play the 10 with the Bellingham as the 8 and as the Declan Rice as the 6. I think from that performance is when you say, no, you can't play that 10. Jude Bellingham's got to be playing that position. What do you think?
I absolutely agree, and I saw some other points as well where they're basically saying that Bellingham's going to have to play a false 9 before long because Kane's going to drop out. They're going to have no goals in the game, and
Yeah.
I can really see that happening.
So can I.
I
I think it's when that Tobrice come into my chat last night, weren't it, to the TikTok live, and what's our plan after Harry Kane? Because can you name anyone apart from Watkins and Tony that's as English striker coming through?
but Solanke, but they're all. None of them are prolific, are they? I mean, I guess Tony was, but he's kind of.
Yeah. Because you remember before, Spax, how blessed we were with the likes of Andy Cole, Teddy Sheringham, Ian Wright. There's so many, Emil Heskey, Michael Owen. You can flick Robbie Fowler. You could flick off so many names. Yeah, but now you can't.
Missed Andy Carroll. What's up here?
Missed Andy Carroll. Oh yeah, I'll make sure I put Emil Heskey in there though.
Emil Heskey scored some wicked amount of goals for us.
Yeah, that 5-1 drumming of Germany.
Yeah,
he scored there, and that's when he did that little golf put celebration.
Yeah,
and Gerrard scored that volley. That was 2002, if I recall. But yeah, we're not blessed in the striker position. So I completely agree. We could see someone coming in as a false 9, but Southgate's never going to do that. Let's be honest.
So yeah, there's no other striker to take over from Kane. Well,
no.
I don't see that there is, and Bellingham's been doing it for Real Madrid. Yeah. And granted, he might not have to do it next year. But he's proved he can do it.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. Exactly right.
And you put somebody behind him that can actually support him rather than screwing up with because I don't get the fancy flick footwork thing. It achieves nothing.
No, it doesn't. In certain moments, it can be all right. Where actually, more like with Martin Odegaard for us, where you do that flick and it just opens the defence up and Bukayo Saka's through or Kai Havertz is through. Yeah. That's
if they're doing that, then that's fine. But it's every touch.
Yeah,
every touch is a stupid little flick.
Yeah,
and
Foden weren't the one for us yesterday, and I think
no.
I'm not saying this as an Arsenal fan. I think Declan Rice looked the most solid player on the pitch.
I think he did. I don't think he was outstanding either. To be fair,
that wasn't his best game either.
But he was definitely the best player.
Yeah, when he cut in and he won the ball back, and I think it was Palmer he missed. Do you know when he got in front of his man and he missed the volley? Oh.
Well, the other thing was that I kind of noticed is nobody was making those actual runs until Saka came on.
Exactly.
Nobody made any runs whatsoever, and they were like. There was one point at the right-hand side where Rice was running across the box and he was trying to get a ball over to somebody, and I believe it was Mainu, Palmer, and might have been Kane all in the same area to the right-hand side of the box.
Yeah.
And they were just like musical statues. It was just like, well... do we need to play the music again or something?
Yeah, do you get what I mean?
Get moving.
Yeah, it's because I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know if you heard me saying it on my live yesterday. Saka plays a different position for England than he does for Arsenal. With Arsenal, he's out wide, and then with England, he's the last man forward. So when Kane comes in deep, Saka's he's actually the number 9, the number, as you would say. He's the third player forward.
It's like he's doing the Odegaard role for England.
Inside forward.
Yeah, so he's doing that high press.
Yeah,
but nobody really goes with him.
No, they don't. No, because I did have a question. Yeah, I did have a question yesterday, Sparks, on my chat. I don't know if you can touch on this. Someone said they weren't saying it in a bad way with no agenda. It was just literally a simple question about Saka. He said, Is he a one-trick kind of pony? Is he always just cutting in on his left foot and it's looking a bit obvious? And then I commented back saying, what about Arjen Robben? When Arjen Robben did it, you do it, but the difference with Saka is when he does do it, when he shoots, it's always on the half turn. It's never like, you're expecting him to hit it that first time. It's never that. When he shoots, you don't expect him to shoot. So I think that's why it works.
Do you remember me saying? I think it was on here. But do you remember me saying that he plays the game in slow motion?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. 100%.
So rather than gunning it like a Walcott, where he just run past a man, let his pace kind of take him past.
Yeah.
He's changed his game.
Yeah. And do you know who is very similar to Jack Grealish? Jack Grealish plays that way.
And I had that exact same kind of thought process when I watched the game yesterday, and I kind of recalled what's been going on at Arsenal, and I heard about obviously certain things where Grealish would do well at Arsenal. I don't think he necessarily would, but he does do the same kind of thing that Saka does.
Do you think that's why he's not took Grealish back? Because Saka does that role now?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I think he's not took Grealish because he's trying to make it look like he's changed his ways.
Yeah,
and whatever. He's the token absentee. But I mean, the thing is that he could be back in anyway. If you get a couple of injuries, which we're bound to have, he's going to be there anyway. So maybe that's he's done that to make a point, and he's basically gone, look, you're going to get in, but you just need to wait in for an injury, sort of thing.
Yeah. How would you sum up Mainoo's performance yesterday? How would you think Mainoo got up? He struggled?
I think he struggled. I think that he wasn't necessarily strong enough in certain instances.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really work out whether he was trying to play the 6 or the 8.
Yeah, me neither. Him and Declan Rice were interchanging quite frequently.
It was kind of a double pivot kind of thing without having any kind of structure to it.
Yeah, because I've seen him at centre back at one point, and then in the next breath, 30 seconds later, he was forward and Declan Rice was at centre back.
Yeah, so it's almost like they're interchanging the 6 and the 8 between them, and it didn't really make any sense to me. But
it's kind of
again, that's not Mainoo's fault. Yeah. That's not Mainoo's fault. That's obviously what they've been told to do. So at the end of the day, guys, if you're in here, there's people in here now. If you can go onto the YouTube channels, hit the like button, drop a subscribe to both channels, and do you want to just put a post on my thing with your channel?
Yeah, of course.
Do it on my Twitter, and then do it on the live as well. But yeah, just drop a like, a subscribe, and we're live on both our channels currently. We're live on both our TikToks, so please just make sure that you drop likes, and any comments you got. If you think that we're waffling crap, then post it on there, and we can have a discussion.
Where's our mascot? That's what I want to know.
He's asleep. He's right there asleep.
If people don't know, Sparks' cat is our mascot. He always joins in around the 45-minute mark to half-hour mark. The cat's always in.
When he gets hungry, then that's when he becomes involved. Julian says, "I'm sorry for England. Foden cannot play as a 10. Over Jude, no chance." I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
But I also think that while Kane is playing the 10. That is playing the 9, not the 10. It doesn't work. If Bellingham was playing the false 9 and Foden was playing the 10, or even a false 10, like a pushed up 10, I think that might work. So you're almost making it a striker and a centre forward.
Like we said before, Sparks, the audition was done, weren't it? I think that was the audition yesterday. Where why would you take Jude Bellingham? Just say potentially he wins the Euros, he's a Ballon d'Or shout. Yeah. Why would you take someone who's a Ballon d'Or shout out of his position?
I mean, there was never, for me, there's never a chance of dropping him. It's just whether Foden plays in his natural position or goes over to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
either
think he's
way,
got to stay.
what's that?
I think he should stay around the left. I don't know if I remember, I don't know if I've told you this, but Palmer, Foden, Tony, Watkins, all of them put together have no goal. They've got no more goal contributions than Saka. So that just shows how inexperienced they are.
That's the problem. But that's why I'm saying as well that these should have got shouts in friendlies
Yeah,
rather
definitely.
than just taking,
Yeah,
the Hendersons, the Kanes, the whatever. They're
that's the problem.
friendlies. They're friendlies for a reason.
And that's the
Try
problem.
and
What's come yesterday? It was. This is. It's a little too late
yeah,
now going into this tournament.
yeah, absolutely. I think that it's if he's changed his ways now, that is that's a bit of a lateness in the process because it's not really not going to make it any interest any
No,
difference whatsoever.
not at all.
Um,
I'm just going to drop
so
my
we've got another one
YouTube.
there.
Got another comment.
I have a question. Does Palmer deserve to start over Saka on the right for England? Absolutely not for me. Again, he did some decent stuff yesterday, but certainly not enough to overthrow Saka. And I think when the substitutions actually came, I think we actually livened up. The game played a lot better. And I think that at that point, I think Iceland just got deeper and
Yeah.
deeper and deeper. And what?
Have you just seen my comment? I've just commented because
Yeah.
I've got 4 people in there watching. They just haven't commented yet, so I've just put it in there for them to see themselves on my end.
Oh, okay.
That's on my YouTube channel.
Oh, that's on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, but if you've got any questions, people, drop them in. That's over on my side on Jamie Waffles Footy. Drop us some comments because we are here live. So any comments welcome as long as it's not abuse or trolling. We're happy to answer any questions. What I'm going to touch on what you just said there about the Palmer Saka debate. I think over the last 2 games, brother, Palmer has played that position. And he's had his audition as well to think, whether he can play in front of Saka. And he did all right yesterday. He looked dangerous in spells, but Saka always looks good when he puts on that England shirt, Sparks. I don't know if you think that as well, but he looks amazing every time he does it.
I mean, I don't think he looks amazing, but but he definitely livened it up. Obviously, he came on with other substitutes as well, so that it was difficult to kind of attribute them all to Saka. But again,
no, I'm saying normally when he puts on a shirt. I don't mean yesterday's performance. I mean normally when he puts on a shirt.
I see it as for Arsenal when we attack basically mostly down that side.
Yeah,
and we did that again as an England team. We did that again. There was a couple of times where it kind of shifted over to Gordon.
Yeah, it did. I don't think Gordon had a bad game, Sparks.
I don't think he had a bad game.
Yeah.
He was definitely not the worst performance.
Yeah.
I don't like his. He does like a drag and run touch. And he always seems to overhit that.
Yeah.
And if he can get that right, I think it could be very effective.
Yeah. So leading into this Serbia game, I think the biggest conversation to be had, I think everything proved it on the pitch yesterday who should be starting. Do you think it should be a Konta or a Guehi? I know you're not going to say Dunk. So do you think who should part the stones?
Why do you think I'm not going to say Dunk?
We'll put Dunk in the conversation then. Dunk. I'm not talking Southgate, Sparks. I'm talking you. Who do you think? Yeah, who should you play next to?
I mean, well, if we're having the conversation, and we should be having the conversation about Branthwaite, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because
that's what I'd have. No. You know what? I would have Branthwaite starting as well. That's the worst thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I'd have if you're gonna go fresh and proper freshen it up.
Yeah.
Then do it, and leave the left back and the right back as whatever you're going to be, but change your centre backs to something that's reasonable. But I mean, it's very difficult right now to drop Stones.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I think I would start with Stones and Branthwaite.
Yeah.
But as it is, it'll be Stones and Gahey. Um,
I would go with Conte,
No, not for me.
No, I just think that he looks more impressive than what Guehi has in these two friendlies.
I kind of get that, but
it does make it a bit obstruct because Conte's a right-footed player, isn't he? He's not, and Guehi's left-footed, so that you need a left-footed centre back ideally, don't you?
Well, yeah, but that hasn't stopped him before, is it?
No, but like any manager this day and age, they play with a left-footed centre back and a right foot. That's why I'm so surprised about Branthwaite, because I thought that was. I thought
doesn't necessarily have that rule.
No, he don't, does he? No, it's a bit of a weird one.
He's done it before, where there's two right footers in there.
Yeah, I think that's old school. That is. I think now you play with the left centre back and the right centre back, don't you necessarily?
Yeah.
Would you? Do you think that's the idea for it? The ideology, if that's how you can kind of say it?
I don't know with Southgate. I really don't know.
No, but you personally, would you play a left centre back?
I would play a left foot and a right footer. Absolutely.
Yeah, whether the right foot on the other side would be better than the left foot, I'd still play the left foot.
It doesn't really make any difference, does it? So
yeah, it does definitely.
I think if you could even switch them around, but it depends how you're playing and how much support you're getting from the left back and the right back, I suppose.
Do you know why it makes a lot more of a difference this day and age? Now, why it's changed? I think I've said it a few times now. I don't know if you recall, but it's because when they're being pressed and they're right up in your face, our right foot will naturally go to the right side. He won't use his left foot. So you're all of a sudden, your left footer is playing across the face of you. Your left-sided centre back, if he's right-footed, is playing across the face of your goal.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get that. Obviously they're going to be in the opposite direction, essentially.
Yeah.
So, but don't know.
Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it?
But it's all about being goal side, isn't it? At the end of the day,
yeah.
So it's.
So you'd start with Alexander Arnold in centre midfield, like we've kind of touched on.
It's tough, isn't it? Because at the end of the day,
if I knew how to put what my starting 11 was, should we to read it out? What I put on my TikTok, what I think the starting 11 should be.
Yeah, well, we can do a starting 11 anyway. We'll get one ready for the thing. You just pick a builder. It's fine. I'll link you to a builder.
Yeah. Sound. But yeah, I do think, like we said, Trent should be playing, but it's whether it's right back or centre midfield. But like I said, I do think it's shown the inexperience.
Do you think Walker deserves a start in the squad?
You think that Walker deserves a start? Do you?
That's what I'm asking you. Do you think Walker?
If I wasn't playing Trent centre midfield, I'd play him right back. If it come down to it and it was out of the two to play, it'd be Alexander Arnold all day. I've changed my tune. Remember yesterday I put Kyle Walker at centre back.
Yeah, you put him at centre back. Yeah. Not for all the team in China. Am I doing that?
Yeah, I don't know what went through my head, but yeah, I've kind of watched that game now and I've changed my tune.
No. Not unless the right back is hugging him.
Yeah,
if he stood there with the right back, then fair enough.
I think if he, you know how people are putting this Palmer and Saka debate, yeah. If Palmer plays on the right wing, you have to have Kyle Walker at right back. But if you have Saka on the right wing, you can play with Alexander Arnold because Alexander Arnold is not as good defensively as Kyle Walker, but Saka can help out.
Yeah, I mean that's.
You kind of get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, and I'm just trying to think with the midfield element.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you getting? Who are you putting in that 6? If it's not Rice, who are you putting in the 6 that comes in to sit in between the two centre backs? Because essentially,
why are we not talking Rice at 6?
Well, because Rice is more advancing, isn't
Yeah, more advanced. It would be. It'd probably be Mainu or Conor Gallagher, wouldn't it?
Right. So
This is not what I want. I want to play Trent in centre midfield.
in that instance,
Yeah, then Kyle Walker be right back.
I want Trent at right back.
You want who at right back?
Trent.
Yeah, yeah,
Because if you've got Mainu bolstering the two centre backs, so you've got basically three centre backs when you need it,
yeah.
then the right back shouldn't need to defend so much.
Yeah, exactly right. I think it really does depend on the opposition.
Yeah, I
Really,
think it is.
really does. Have we
I
got a
think it
comment here?
is.
There's no how Dunk should have been in that team over Branthwaite. Solid player. What's your thoughts,
Yeah,
Spark?
I completely agree. It's
Yeah,
it's a no brainer for me. Branthwaite's
100%.
quick as well, so
100%. You know what? I would take as weird as it sounds. We've got Gabriel. I would take him to interchange with Gabriel at Arsenal. I think it'd be a great little. But that's a different topic.
what Branthwaite?
Yeah, I'd love to have him over. Him fighting for a position with Gabriel.
The thing is, you're not going to get him for less than 80 million quid, are you?
No, of course you're not. But also, I think Southgate's terminology behind this is that he wants a bit of experience because a lot of the players are inexperienced. That's why he's took Dunk.
Yeah, I get that, but then Trent is experienced, Walker's experienced,
Mm-hmm.
Saka's experienced now.
Yeah,
Kane,
Saka's one of the most experienced players in that squad now.
yeah, Kane. Bellingham doesn't need experience as such.
He's doing it on the big stage anyway. Really,
He's
he's
doing
he's
it
only played one
anyway.
tournament for us, hasn't he, Bellingham? And he didn't
Yeah,
start.
so it doesn't really matter too much whether he's got experience or not.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I kind of get. Yeah, I mean, again, Pickford in goal
Yeah,
has got experience as well.
yeah.
Trippier, if you got Trippier there, but he'd be playing left back. So
I don't know, but I don't trust. I don't know why, but I don't trust. You know, his height. His height kills me, and I don't know why it kills me. But every time I see him at left back or right back, because he's so small, I don't. I just get put off.
with
I
Trippier,
like a big right back or a big left back, a big tall. You know, like Ben White. Like, don't let's not get into the Ben White topic seriously because
no,
he's
please,
still
no, let's not do
no,
that.
no. I'll ask you actually one question about it. Yeah, could you see the future? Say Southgate goes, yeah. Could you see the future centre back partnership being Ben White and John Stones?
The centre backs now.
No, you think Ben White's position is right back now?
I think he can do right back, and I think he can even cover left back.
Yeah, I think he would be good there as
The
well.
right footer anyway. You can play him on the left back.
Yeah,
I trust Ben White over Trent,
yeah,
who played left back for Liverpool, albeit as a stopgap.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I don't really see
yeah. Oh,
Ben White being a centre back for England unless he starts miraculously playing for Arsenal.
yeah.
I
I'm
just
just
don't.
going to touch on something quickly, Sparks. There's 84 people in this live. I can see above. If everyone can give a like, give us a free punch combination by liking, commenting, and subscribing over to our YouTube channels, whether it's Sparks's, we're the North Bank, or it's mine, which is Jamie Waffles Footy, and dropping your comments on Twitter as well. Happy days.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, so is this the next comment here? Do you want to read that one out, bro?
You go for it. I'm just seeing if there's any
Okay.
actual comments on Twitter.
Okay, they need Walker for the recovery runs because when he came off the bench, the defense was exposed. We do need him for the recovery runs. I think it depends on the opposition, mate. If just say we're playing against France and you've got Mbappe there, yeah, Kyle Walker all day long doubling up with Bukayo Saka. But then when you come up against like Serbia, for example, do we really need to worry about the threat of people coming in behind and need to use Kyle Walker's pace? That's kind of what I'm thinking about that. What about you,
No, but
Sparks?
that's the thing. If you've got like a Mainu who is dropping
Deep.
into the centre back line,
Yeah.
then it kind of releases the fullbacks, either side to not necessarily defend so much.
Yeah, I do understand what you're saying, bro. I'm just literally putting in any questions on the thing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I know you are, Dylan. It's yeah, you're off my Twitter guide, so yeah, I know exactly who you are, mate.
Yeah, go on, brother. So I'm going to ask you, what point total are you expecting from this group stage? I'm thinking 7 points. Are you thinking we're going to go all 9?
I mean, that's very difficult to say, isn't it? You know, it's no,
Minimum. What's your minimum?
I mean, minimum's got to be 7, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I would have said so. I mean, generally speaking, win 1, lose 1, draw 1 is a qualification anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, 4
But
points normally qualifies the best third place team, don't it?
yeah, but apparently we're favourites for the tournament. I
Yeah,
don't
we
quite
are.
understand
Let me have a
that.
quick look now. But yesterday when I seen it, we were. It might have changed now, maybe. Euros favourites. From what I worked out, what I put like, you can have like a group simulator. It looks like we
Yeah,
weren't going to get France to the final. From what I seen, the Euro 2024 winner. This is the outright winners, but it might just be because we're in England and the papers are putting it. But England's 3-1 as favourite. France as 2-1 with 7-2. Germany is 5-1 in third. Spain is 8-1, joint with Portugal. Italy, Belgium, Netherlands take up the final 8. So
yeah. For both of you, Euros semi-finalists. What defensive midfield will you go for against France?
against France. Do you want me to start off, brother?
Yeah, you go.
Well, if at that point Luke Shaw should be fit, so I'm going to include him in that. But anyway, Pickford. I'll go Pickford, Kyle Walker. Pickford, Kyle Walker. Centre backs, I would go with John Stones and probably it's either Guehi or Concert, either or either. Left back, Luke Shaw. And the midfield would be Bukayo, definitely on the right because he can help cover that pace of Mbappe with Kyle Walker. And the two centre mids, I would go with a Mainu and a Declan Rice because if you look at France's midfield, they've got Chouameni, they've got so many blessed centre midfielders. And I think if it was just Declan Rice as sitting as a 6 next to Trent, it would do us over. So if it's another game, I'd have Trent. But yeah, so Declan Rice, Kobe Mainu, and then I'd have Bellingham, and then I would have Foden on the other side. I mean, obviously, Kane up front. What do you think, bro?
Pretty much the same, to be honest. I mean, I know you think that Shaw will be back, but I've got a funny feeling that he's going to be injured before we even get to that stage. So I hope not, because I think he's our best chance with the left back. Trippier had a bad season anyway. He kind of worries me, and so I don't really want him in there.
Joe Gomez at left back rather than a Trippier for that game because you think
I put Trent in there first.
Trent at left back?
Yeah.
Against France, they have Ousmane Dembele on that side, which is probably pace. That's the same pace as Mbappe.
Yeah, I get that, but you've got two defensive mids. You've got two defensive mids. You've got two centre backs. You got he's got help.
Yeah.
So
do you think they would look at Sparks and go and play Mbappe off that side, knowing we were playing Alexander Arnold on that side, or knowing that we're struggling for a left back? Do you think Deschamps will be like, yeah, I'm going to put my strongest player on their weakest side?
I mean, if he does, I mean, he can play there. He's proved he can play there, but it's not his strongest position. I don't see him doing that because he'll be weakening his side. So I don't buy that. I think that's
France really ain't the ones I'm worrying about. It's if we face a Portugal, that's when I'm going to start because people are really.
I think France will win it. I still think France will win it.
Yeah, I think on paper, as mad as it sounds, I think Portugal have a stronger side than France.
They probably do have a stronger side, but it depends on the running, doesn't it? At the end of the day, and who you're going to go up against.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a quick look to see what this.
We need to do one of the the road to the final and
What I've done
basically
with what I did previously, where you've got the simulator and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
So we need to do
definitely, definitely. We could do it on a live, definitely.
we need to
So
do
the port,
yeah,
go on.
a live road to the final sort of thing. So we've got
Yeah, where we've got that simulator, and
yeah
then everyone can see it, kind of thing as well.
yeah.
Well, I'm just going to quickly read out the Portugal squad, so we know what it is. It's their last starting 11 against Switzerland was Diogo Costa, which is he's a wicked keeper. Diego Dalot, Pepe, Ruben Diaz, Rafael Guerreiro, William Carvalho, Otavio, Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Joao Felix, and Gonzalo Ramos.
But this is why you need to do a road to the final because
Yeah,
um,
strong
it
team.
depends who they're going up against. Because
Yeah,
if
exactly
they're in
right.
the other half of the draw,
Yeah,
who are they taking with them?
yeah, yeah. That was their last starting 11.
That's the thing. Who are they taking with them?
Yeah, yeah,
So Doodlin says, I'm scared with Trent in defence against Mbappe after seeing close hand what Gabby did to Trent. Yeah, I appreciate that. I completely get that. But you'd be on a different side anyway.
yeah.
And are you telling me that Walker doesn't scare you?
Yeah, Walker scares me, mate.
Because Walker scares me now. I
Yeah,
think he's not as good as he used to be. He's lost maybe not a half a yard, but he's lost a little bit.
do you know his anticipation? I think is. Do you know that anticipation where before he was straight in there, where it's like he kind of thinks about it before
Well,
now.
it's immediate acceleration, isn't it?
Yeah,
Basically, so you see the danger, you just gone,
yeah.
and
That's what
that
happens when you get a bit older. Simple.
yeah, that split second where you just not that reaction's not quite there,
Yeah,
and it just took you a split second to decide to go,
yeah,
and then you're running down. I'm not saying he's not quick because he is quick. I
yeah,
think it's the slight regression in decision making that
yeah.
that might be affecting him a little bit.
And it's his passing at the back as well. I think like he just hoofs the ball at people sometimes, and you're just like, what's going on here? Like,
Yeah, I think he's done that for a while. To be fair, that's
yeah, he
not
has.
really.
He shoots at people, don't he?
Yeah, it's like a zip ball for no
Yeah,
apparent
where
reason.
you come across it like that rather than playing like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
I'll be happy to have an input in that road to the final chat. Loving the show. Yeah, drop me a DM, Dudlin, and
yeah.
we can look at get you on a show, man.
Yeah, well, mate, thank you for loving the show. Thank you for coming in and
Yeah,
supporting us.
yeah, exactly. And thanks for
Yeah,
joining and commenting as well, because it's obviously
yeah,
made us think about stuff as well, and passes the
exactly.
time for us as well, and
Yeah,
makes it a bit more entertaining for you guys as well. So
yeah,
yeah,
because it's
awesome.
much better. That's why we've been harping on about the comments because, like, even with my TikTok lives, I have a lot of people in there, so there's a lot of comments, but it takes you off to different subjects where it doesn't have to be so just this game from last night. We can talk about other
Yeah, like
things.
regimented of an order that's just in our heads. We're kind of having to
Yeah,
react to what the
yeah,
chat says
exactly.
as
Straight off the
well, which is
spot.
good. So
I'm still waiting
yeah,
for the pussycat to come on. That's what I'm waiting for. Why is he not
you're
awake
waiting for
yet?
what?
I'm waiting for the cat. What's his name?
It's Indy is still asleep.
What's his actual name?
Indy.
Indy. Go on, Indy. I reckon we should call him Thierry. That's what my old cat was called, Thierry.
Was he?
Yeah, I called it Thierry. Yeah. So
He doesn't look like a Thierry.
yeah, my dog's called Pepper because my
Yeah.
kids at the time they love Peppa Pig, and my youngest girl at the
Right.
summer, yeah, she couldn't. You know the theme tune for it. It goes, "Hi, my name's Peppa Pig."
No,
That
not
yeah, she
really.
couldn't. Well, she couldn't say it, so she used to go,
Right.
"My pig," because she couldn't say it properly, and she couldn't say Pepper. She used to go,
Right.
Pepper. So I always thought of
Right.
Pepper. That's what I call my dog now.
There we go. Oh, excuse me. Oh dear.
What time are we on?
Yeah.
3:30. Is there any more matches on today?
I don't know.
No, have you noticed none of these international friendlies have been on TV?
Yeah, they've not been televised, have they? I
I
was
know.
looking for the was it the Denmark game the other day?
Yeah.
I was
Because
looking for
Bulgaria
that.
and Slovenia are playing right now. We've got this. There's USA, Colombia tonight, Spain, Northern Ireland, Belgium, Luxembourg, Denmark, Norway. That's tonight. That'd be a cracking game, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Sweden and Serbia's on later as well.
Yeah, that'd be a good game too, because then we can kind of look at.
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of look at
Yeah, they're not on
what's
TV.
to come.
Yeah, I'll quickly have a look on my Sky Go while we're here to see if there's any matches available. But I don't think there is. They're playing the. Are you involved in the 2020 cricket at the moment?
Yes,
Same
actually.
as me. Yeah.
I've got the F1 on a minute. I
Yeah.
thought it was quite amazing with the that USA beat
Yeah.
Pakistan.
That super over. Pakistan was so poor in that super over. So many just neglecting everything, weren't they? Dropping things, overthrows. It was
It
poor.
was mad. It really was mad. I mean, they didn't get enough score anyway.
No. What did they have? 146, something like that.
I think 100. No, it's a bit more than that. I think it's
Was it?
159.
Oh, was it?
But yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't enough for that wicket.
It's Australia versus England at 5:30.
What in the cricket?
Yeah, 2020.
Oh, nice. I'll
I'm
have that on
definitely watching
holiday
that.
then.
That'll be a cracking game.
Yeah, I've got what we got South Africa and Netherlands on at the minute.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got it on my phone in the background.
Yeah.
Are you? Do you want to end it here, or do you want to carry on for a little bit? It's up to you, mate.
No, I think we're good, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we've covered
Oh, hang
everything.
on.
Yeah, go on.
We just got one more question. We'll do the answer to the question first.
Yeah.
Our last question. Who would you guys like to see take over from Southgate? The $64 million gazillion dollar question, right?
Yeah. Do you want me to touch on it first?
Go on.
I think personally we should be going for a foreign manager, but it's just who's out there. If he goes Southgate, then it will be Graham Potter by the looks of things, and I don't know if that's a sideways step. I don't know if it's a massive improvement on Southgate. I know Southgate ain't great, but I don't know if Graham Potter is a massive improvement. I think we just have to kind of ride it out and wait for someone to come up that we could potentially get in. Not Klopp, because obviously Klopp wouldn't come, but a better type of manager. I just don't. I can't really see a Potter being a massive improvement. Maybe an Eddie Howe further down the line. What do you think, brother?
I think Potter is an improvement, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that when De Zerbi did his stuff at Brighton,
Yeah.
he was still working with Potter's team.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
think maybe got a little bit found out. And I know that De Zerbi had injuries as well. But I think maybe he got a little bit found out because of that team. Now, granted that they sold a couple of players as well. And had injuries. And that didn't help De Zerbi. But
yeah.
I wonder, and I have no factual analysis of this, just what I see is whether he did so well with Brighton because of the team that Potter built.
Yeah, I'll come back to that. I'll come back.
And they still had the same kind of training regimes. He hadn't implemented his yet.
Mm-hmm.
I might be completely wrong, but I think Potter is an upgrade.
Yeah, he probably is better, but I don't know if it's just me being like silly here, but I want better than Potter.
Yeah, who are you getting though? Because
That's what I mean. That's my dilemma. That's my problem.
The problem is you've got Premier League and you've got La Liga clubs and even League One clubs spending ridiculous money.
Yeah, managers
to get said managers.
Yeah, and I think someone said to us yesterday. They said Unai Emery, didn't they? But the English media, burnt their bridges with Unai Emery anyway, so he would never take over an England manager. So
yeah, I mean, you could say that with anybody though, because the English media are just the English media.
I think they were quite bad with Emery though, more than most.
Yeah, I mean,
do you remember Good Evening, and then they were just taking the mick out of him because he couldn't really speak English and stuff.
Yeah, but what do you think they did to Wenger when Wenger
they did
came?
The same thing. Yeah.
When Wenger came, after like a week, it might be a month. that they basically put out stories that he'd been fired.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They made up stories that he'd been sacked,
Because the English
and
media is shocking, ain't they?
yeah. So they were all like all getting on the bandwagon that he'd been fired.
Really? Because obviously when Wenger came in, I was only 4, so like
Yeah,
I kind of started getting the grasp of football probably 2 years, 3 years into his tenure, like
yeah,
'97, yeah, kind of
yeah.
thing.
But
Like,
they treated him awfully, to be fair.
really?
And but then none of the players knew who he was,
Yeah,
and
I
they were
remember
like,
that. Ian Wright going, "Who?" Like that.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember
exactly,
that.
who the hell?
But
But
he changed it, didn't he? So
well, in like 3 months or something, Wright was saying that they'd run through walls for him.
yeah, exactly.
Com-
Yeah, it was. He brought in
com-
nutrition. He brought in such different
yeah.
aspects. He was the biggest game changer in the Premier League as a manager. Not winning things, but
Well,
what
I
he
mean,
brought in.
not the biggest game changer, but certainly one of them, a
Yeah,
revolutionary type of thing.
yeah, exactly right. That's
Um,
kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah,
yeah. So I think Ferguson did a lot as well for
yeah, he
management
did.
at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Um, I
Right.
mean, I don't really mind who they bring in, to be honest, but I kind
Yeah,
of have this fear, and I mentioned
yeah. Here
it,
we
touched
go.
on it yesterday,
Yeah.
that they've reinvented Southgate because they're going to give him a new contract.
You know what? I'm on that bandwagon as well now with you. I'm on the
I just
bandwagon of
don't
it.
see any other reason they would have done it.
Yeah, take away the waistcoat, bring in changes ideology. Yeah, I
Because
can see it.
if he was going to Man United, say, for example, and that would be hilarious, by the way, but if he was going to Man United, wouldn't they do the reinvention as soon as he arrived at Old Trafford?
Yeah, exactly. Why would he do it now?
Why would they do it now? Why would they do it
Yeah,
while he's still in? Unless they've said, they've put some kind of feedback to him
yeah.
that that he looks ridiculous. It
You
is
need to
what it
do
is.
this a certain way, and then we will get you in
Yeah,
the Man United position.
but why would they tell him that you can't wear a waistcoat, you can't do this, you can't do that, when
Yeah,
their current manager does exactly the same thing? Or is it that the profile is similar to the current manager that they have, so he needs to
yeah,
reinvent himself before he comes in?
yeah.
I,
Baffling.
it is a bit strange to me, that one.
Hmm. I think it
So,
is definitely so. Definitely so.
but there we go. Okay, well, we're going to call it anyway, and well, we don't know when the next stream is. When we're going to do the next stream? Do you want to do a
Um,
road to the final tomorrow?
yeah, I'll do a road to the final tomorrow. I'm just going to quickly put out there that if Sparks is on it, I don't know how busy you're going to be, but every day of the Euros, if you want to do a roundup of the Euros with me, and
Yeah, we
if you'd
can.
be
Yeah,
interested, yeah, so me and Sparks together every single day because there's 3 fixtures a day, isn't there? We'll kind
yeah.
of do a little roundup. We'll do a live or just put a video out there every single day, just a little roundup, a little half an hour compilation of our thoughts of each game, just little
Well, we
thoughts
can
on
do
the
it. We
game.
could do a daily prediction as well, couldn't we?
Yeah,
Really?
daily prediction. I'm happy over the Euros. I'm happy to do as much content as possible. But yeah, we'll be
Yeah, yeah.
back on tomorrow. I'm Jamie Waffles Footy, and over on TikTok, I am Jay Gunner, which I predominantly use. I'll post about 10, 11 videos a day, and the same as on YouTube. And you, Sparks?
Yeah, so I'm Sparks TV. That's who I am on Twitter, and the channel is with the North Bank on YouTube. Please make sure to drop a follow, subscribe, and
Yeah.
comment on the lives. Thank you very
Thank you,
much for
everyone, for watching, and stay blessed as well.
yeah, and we'll see you on the next one.